I am 8 days and 5,812 miles into this 100,000 mile journey, and today I'm going to be doing probably the craziest trip so far, and possibly of the entire 100,000 miles. I'm going to be flying from here in Portland to Las Vegas, and then Las Vegas to Anchorage, getting in at around 12 p.m. Or no, 12 a.m. because it's the next day, and then I'll be taking a 1:30 a.m. flight back to Portland, which is an all-nighter, but also leaves super early in the morning. It sounds fun to me, kind of. I've always wanted to do these crazy flights to Anchorage from around the US that Alaska does, so I'm excited to try it, but the all-nighter part of it I'm not looking forward to as much, so we'll see how it goes. I haven't gotten ready yet, but now that I have, let's go to the airport. I am at the gate and waiting for my seat. Middle seat. Yeah, you heard that right. I got a middle seat, and I'm spoiled. I never get middle seats, so this was definitely the low point of the entire trip for me, especially because I was next to a guy who wasn't super conscious of my personal space, and so his elbows would drift in and stuff, but once I got to Las Vegas, everything was much better. My lower body is never going to be the same after that flight. So I was at the gate and waiting for my seat, and then someone they were just taking a long time, and I walked up to get my seat because they called my name, and she gave me a middle in the back. And then the people after me, she gave like a great seats, like an exit row window and a way up front aisle, and there were good seats open still. Okay, I know I sound 12, and I know that this is a huge privilege that I get to be able to do, but it was just really upsetting because someone was coming, so that's really awkward, but I just really wanted to have a good seat, and then I got to my seat. Well, first of all, I sat in the wrong seat, and I did not realize that until we were taxiing. So I was in between someone who's in the aisle seat and then another person, and the other person was fine, but the other person in the aisle seat, he constantly spilled over to my seat, like his arms, and he sat with his legs splayed. Like, it sounds really spoiled, and I don't want to sound spoiled, but it was super hard, and my bottom has never hurt so bad before. It was kind of a terrible flight, but it's over now, and I'm really looking forward to the next flight. I'm up to 6,500 miles after that flight, and with my Las Vegas Anchorage flight, that's going to add like 2,300 miles on it, so that's going to be awesome. I'm super excited for that one, and I'm hoping I get a much better seat. So let's get to that gate, because right now I'm in a completely different terminal. I just like to apologize for taking this time lapse. Like, that is so gross. Like, look at my mouth. Why is it moving like that? Ew. After waiting stressfully for my seat, I have my own row to Anchorage. It's gonna be awesome. For some reason, at this point, my mic didn't work super well, and it made my audio sound like this. Reading light on. Hopefully this audio is turning out pretty well. And obviously it didn't, so here's what I was trying to say. On our taxi out to the runway, there was a guy across from me in the aisle seat, and his row was completely full, and he kept eyeing my row, and he was like smiling and stuff, and then we were just sitting on the tarmac, and he moved over into the aisle seat, so I no longer have my own row, which is kind of disappointing, of course. But also, it's fine. Like, I can totally handle it. I mean, there's still a middle seat open, so it's really nice. And then I think I said something like I was going to watch a Dune Part 2 because I've been waiting to watch that and probably read during this flight. And because it's 5 hours long, so I have quite a lot of time to do stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much the extent of useful stuff I said. Hello from the bathroom. I'm gonna try and make this quick because people are waiting to use it. But it is 10 p.m. and we have about 2.5 hours left in our flight. We're over Canada and heading up toward Alaska, so we've gotten out of the U.S. It's going pretty well. I'm watching Dune Part 2 right now, so I'm getting myself busy. This is the first time I've gotten up this whole flight because there's the guy on the island. I feel bad asking him to get up because he's kind of trying to sleep. But if you gotta go, you gotta go. So that's why I'm here in the bathroom, and also because it has the best lighting in the video, because I don't want to be that person and turn on the reading light. That was kind of loud and scary. I'm gonna end this video now, but I will see you either on the ground in Anchorage or later in the flight. Okay, I've landed in Anchorage, and it is 12:40 a.m. And that flight was kind of crazy, mainly because of the guy who came and sat in the aisle seat. So basically, the whole time, he just crossed his feet and stared at them, and like would blink, but he didn't do anything. One sec. And he would just stare at his feet, and then he also I went to the bathroom, and then I came back and my backpack had been moved further into my seat area, and he put his bag where my backpack was. It was very bold, but yeah, it was fine. It didn't bother me that much, so thankfully it wasn't that bad. So now I have about an hour and 20 minutes. I'm going to take a flight to Seattle because it's a lot more open than a direct to Portland. So I'm waiting for that one, and hopefully I get a really good seat on that. Either a window with no one in the middle or a whole row. That's a little too much to hope for, so we'll see what happens, and I'll let you know soon. Jack from the future real quick. I don't really know how I forgot to tell you this, but I saw the northern lights flying to Anchorage. It was super cool. I couldn't really capture it on the phone. I got this photo, and if you turn your phone up to the full brightness and really squint and maybe put on glasses, then you can see it. But it was definitely there, and it was a lot prettier in person, obviously. That was all I had to tell you though, but I don't really know how I forgot. Sorry about that. My seat 16F and exit row window. So honestly, this flight was really boring, and other than my occasional muscle spasm, I mainly looked like this the entire flight. Yeah, there was pretty much nothing to see out the window either, so it was a really boring flight until we landed in Seattle. I've made it to Seattle and now have flown over 10,000 miles and 24 hours of flying time. That's in just 9 days, which is pretty insane. And there's only one flight left, and I'm excited to get it over with to Portland. It is 10:15 a.m. and I got home about an hour ago from my crazy trip. This brings me up to a total of 10,456 miles that I've done only in the past 9 days. Now you may start to think, and I'm starting to think, that this challenge should be a lot easier than I thought, but school is starting soon and I'm also getting a job soon, so it's gonna get a lot more hard to be able to fly as much as I did this past 9 days. But I'm super glad I've been able to get this huge head start on it. I've already flown more than a month's worth of what I need to do, and this was definitely the craziest trip by far. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one wherever I'm going.